Hello, folks, and welcome to the last podcast of the Counting Sheep podcast for this year, 2023. I'm coming to you from a very cloudy Vermont. It's been cloudy for the past couple days, but we're kind of used to it. I want to welcome everybody, both people who have been with me for a while and also all my new subscribers. I picked up quite a few people during Vlogmas, which was a lovely surprise. And I thank you for joining me. I hope you find something that resonates with you, with my podcast. And also like and comment below if you'd like to see new and different things coming your way in 2024. It is the last day of the year, and I thought it was apropos to record on this day. My prior plans were to record right after I got back from traveling to see family for the Christmas holiday. But the days following getting home and unpacked and shoveling out the car tended to be a little more busier than I anticipated. So this is a nice, comfortable, laid-back Sunday, the last day of the year, and so this is kind of where I'm at right now. So, so I thought I'd come and chat with all of you. I do have some notes here. Hopefully I will be able to stick to them. This is episode 16, and I started my podcast back in May. And if some of you who have been with me since then will recognize my shawl, this is the Alchemilla shawl that I'm wearing. And sadly, the author of this pattern, Joanne Grace, announced this month that, or actually last month, that she will be going out of business. She has since sold the business, which is the Crochet Project, and hopefully things will continue as they have been, and maybe there'll be more to come. So hopeful in the new year to see what the Crochet Project has to offer, but a good hearty farewell to Joanne Grace, who brought us so many beautiful patterns. She really took crochet to another level, and I thank her for that. The other thing I'm wearing is the Licorice Vest by Joji Locatelli. And this is my own farm yarn that I spun myself from one of my sheep. And yeah, I'm kind of doubling up on the warm woolies today because the temperature took a little hit overnight. And so just trying to layer up and stay cozy. So I'm hoping also to share with you some of my intentions for 2024. I don't make resolutions because for some reason there's so much negativity involved with it, and especially if you can't keep your resolution or you break it or whatever, there's just kind of like, oh my gosh, I failed. And so trying to walk away from some of that negativity, I make intentions rather than resolutions. I think intentions have a lot more pliability, and while you can set some goals for within your intentions, you can also keep them loosey-goosey and and kind of go with the flow with them, I find. So so yeah, it allows for modification, and like I said, you may or may not indicate a goal with one of them, and especially if you're talking about intentions with your crafts, I think those should remain fluid. But intentions are good because it kind of sets you, gives you some kind of framework and sets you on a path. So, so I will share those at the end. I have 6 crafty intentions and 3 non-crafty intentions to share. And maybe it will spark some ideas for you all in the new year. All right, so onward and upward. I usually start my podcast with crochet, and that is what I'm going to do right now. I wanted to show a really big finished object. I participated, if you saw my Vlogmas, I participated in the Jimmy Bean Wool's the Advent calendar. And not every day was a little bit of yarn, but most days were a little bit of yarn so that you could make an ornament. And so I thought I'd share all the ornaments with you that I made. This was the ball ornament, and this is kind of has trees. It's done in tapestry crochet. And here's one of the ornaments. It's a star. And another one, I believe, let's see, a heart. And the stars come in all the colors that were provided in the kit, and so were the hearts. So here are the hearts. Actually, I'm just going to dump this out because it's easier than just picking them out one by one. This is a nice bag that came in one of the days, which I thought was very apropos, so I could actually have a place to put all these ornaments. There were 21 ornaments altogether, and I'm so proud of myself that I actually was able to keep up with the whole month, or the whole Advent, making these ornaments. So here's more of the stars. Star, star. Here's a star. There's a star. So there were 5 colors, actually 6 colors, sorry. I lie. 6 colors altogether. Coming in different amounts on different days. And there are just as many of the hearts. There are 6 hearts, each of a different color. They're fun. And then the balls, there were 3 of those. So each using 2 colors. And then there were these shaped ornaments, which I believe that they called these the teardrop ornaments. Or maybe these were the bell ornaments, I'm not sure. Yeah, and these were also done in the tapestry crochet technique. And then, well, some of them I made little hooks for, or, you know, little loops for so I could hang them. But then toward the end, you got in one of the drawers, forget what it was, either day 20 or 19, some silver ribbon to cut and apply to the ornaments so you can hang them. So I thought that it was real thoughtfully, you know, planned out. So yeah, and so these are kind of, these might be the teardrops. The other ones are called something else, but fun. You know, I haven't done tapestry crochet in a while, so it was nice to get back into it and then, you know, just hone my technique with it. So yeah, that's my big FO for December, and as you will see, I didn't get much done on anything else because I was busy making ornaments. But, you know, it was just a joy. It was a joy to find, I love Advent anyway, you know, there's a different surprise every day coming through on a calendar. I also had the Lindt chocolate calendar because I love their chocolate. And so that was also fun. I shared that with my husband. I didn't eat all the chocolate. Be diabetic in no time. But yeah, so I got to get going just making hangers for these so that next year they'll be all set for the tree. But great Advent. I'm sad to report that I heard that Jimmy Beans is not going to be doing that Advent calendar, that particular iteration of it next year. They're discontinuing it, but I'm sure they will come up with something as clever because this was quite cool and clever. All right, so that's probably my only finished object I have to report. But I'm proud of it because, you know, I was making ornaments every single day in December. All right, so I'm going to go on to whips and crochet. I just want to share briefly my fealty hap. This is a make-along, sponsored by Mort Magazine. You can make any. This was the make-along was launched at the publishing of their 5th issue, Mort 5, which has the theme of the Highland Retreat. And I decided that I love their patterns so much that I was going to participate. I haven't added too much to this. This is the Fealty Hap by Faye Dashper Hughes. It's in Mort 5. And this is going to be kind of a square sort of pattern. Kind of the same as the shawl I have that I'm wearing right now. But it's going to be a lot smaller than the actual given measurements in the pattern. And that's okay. I love that we as makers can modify things as we see fit. So this is a very easy 2-row repeat. I'm doing it in a lace weight cashmere from Italy. And I have the label here as we speak. This is the other skein. I bought 2 skeins, and I still have a lot left in this skein. Bear in mind this is a lace weight, so this could go on forever more. So it'll be a while before I actually get to this skein. But you know, perseverance, you know, this is part of what we do. You know, we forge into our projects and pick them up and put them down and pick them up and put them down. I am using a 4mm hook, I believe. Yep, 4mm. And yeah, it's really coming along slowly but surely. So very proud. It's nice to work on this. It's so soft, as you can imagine, 100% cashmere. I mean, what's not to love, right? So, all right, so that's, you know, like minimal progress on that. But I thought I'd just show it anyway because, you know, I did put a couple of stitches on it. So just, you know, it's acceptable just to work a little bit on something, right? All right, so that was the Fealty Hap. And then my next work in progress is my Kitzbühel cardigan, and that's a pattern by Sandra Gutierrez of the Nomad Stitches company, I guess. Company, yep. She also has an online club called Plyful, which I am a member of. You know, when I say I haven't made progress, I shouldn't say, you know, you shouldn't take me seriously, because I think for this one, the last we spoke, which was 3 weeks ago, I apologize, but I was supposed to podcast last week, but it was Christmas, you know, and so you know how that goes. But anyway, this is a lovely cardigan. It's in standard mosaic crochet, and I have completed 1 sleeve. So as you can see, I took the liberty of carrying that bodice stitch down into the sleeve longer than the pattern dictates. So this purplish color goes down to about my elbow, and then this is the rest of the sleeve here, with the same finishing on the cuff as there is on the button bands and the rest of the cardigan and neckband. I love how once I get done with this second sleeve, this thing is going to essentially, aside from sewing buttons on, this thing is essentially going to be done. So I'm very close. I just started adding in. This is down to my elbow again on the second sleeve, and then I started adding in my second color for the rest of the sleeve down to the cuff. The yarn I'm using, this beigey color, which is the main color, is called, it's from, actually the company is Earl Grey Fiber Company, and it is called their Matcha Sport, and it's a 3-ply 100% superwash merino, 100 grams for 328 yards, and it's in the colorway Bisque. So here's that. A little wrinkly on this, huh? So that's this color. Hopefully it's not getting too blown out. And then the top, the bodice color is by Lajola Yarn. Actually, it's Ba Yarn. That's the company. And the base is Lajola, which is 100% superwash merino wool. I might have misspoke on this the last podcast. It's 400 yards, 115 grams, and it's dyed in America exclusively for Ba Yarn, B-A-A-H, and yarn. So that's that. And the colorway is Purple Haze. And this is exactly how much I have left of it. I'm really not sure that this is going to make even a square in my Crochet Memories blanket, which is an on-the-go make that I have downstairs. And every time I have some leftovers, I try to make a square on that blanket, that Afghan, in hopes of getting a queen size out of it to throw on our bed. So, but yeah, that's all I have left. I really took that down to the wire because I just love this color and I just wanted to carry it through a little bit down into the arms. This is the other color that I'm using, and this is from at Haynes House Yarns. So that's their logo there, at Haynes House Yarns. And this is called their Haynesville Fingering, 100% superwash merino, 400 grams, or 400 yards to 100 grams. And this colorway name is Spontaneous Concert. So it does have a little bit, carries that purple in here a little bit more, you know, so I thought the two colors would work really well together in the cardigan, especially since they kind of act as the background. So the cardigan itself, as Sandra has made it up, is just the background, the main color and one background color. But, you know, I had to be different. And so, dare to be different. So yeah, it really does need a good blocking. But stay tuned. I think this one will be a done deal next time around. So let me just get that in its proper home. You know, it's easier to stick things back where they belong. I think I mentioned that before because otherwise chaos ensues. All right. So let me see if there's anything I forgot to tell you. I did look up these yarns because I wasn't sure how old they really are. And let me tell you, stuff in my stash can be pretty old. But anyway, the purplish color, the Lajola yarn, is from Ba Yarn, and they do indeed have a website. And this Lajola is still available. So that's bayarn.com. Haynes House Yarns, they do indeed still have the Superwash Merino, and they are at hayneshouseyarns.com, all spelled out. So yeah, so those are some whips, and from my crochet journeys. I'm hoping to have quite a few more in the coming year to show you. Some old, some new, you know. One of the intentions that I am carrying through to the new year is something I started back in the early fall, I guess, is just to break out those languishing whips. And maybe you feel the same way about it and you can play along with me. So, all right, so on to knitting. I have no finished objects in knitting. I do want to share, though, a little bit of progress. I showed this last time. This is the Star Cardi by Donna Kay. You remember that I showed you one completed sleeve for it. And I should show you the card, the actual, what it looks like. If I could find it. It's in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Okay. I should have it paperclip to everything. But anyway, this is in the blue colorway. They have several colorways, as you can imagine, because this is done up in J&S 2-ply, I believe they call that. J&S yarn. Yeah, and so this, they have kits at the Woolly Thistle because this design was made by Donna at the request of the owner of the Woolly Thistle, Corinne at the Woolly Thistle. Fancied, I guess she saw this patterning somewhere and made an appeal to her viewers because she could not find the pattern anywhere. And so Donna chimed in and said, I'll design a pattern for you. So yeah, brilliant. Anyway, this is my second sleeve, and this is only how far I've gotten. And it's not a comment on, you know, the color work or anything. I enjoy doing color work a lot. And I actually had a momentary panic attack with this particular sleeve because I was on the road, as you can imagine, during Christmas. And the sleeve pattern is actually charted out in 2 separate charts in the pattern. And I thought I had, you know, I had gotten to this point and I thought I had started on the wrong chart. But what really saved my sanity was that I knew I started, I used this sleeve as a reference, and so I matched the sleeve to the pattern that I saw in front of me. And the second piece of the pattern was behind the first piece, so that's why it got me concerned that I was in the wrong place. But anyway, no harm, no foul. I managed to do the right thing. So this, the start of this sleeve is a little, you know, wonky, but I think that's going to block out, so I'm not too worried about it. But I do like to make sure that I keep a nice even tension and a nice stretchy tension as well. So I think I'm there. You know, this is going to fit very nicely. I've had this sleeve on already, and it fits like a glove. So really nice. So I mentioned the yarn. It's J&S. And the darker green is shade 34. And this lighter green is FC62 mix, they call that. So really nice. It's got a little bit of hairiness to it. Really lends itself to color work, as you can imagine. They have so many colors in J&S, a lot of which the Woolly Thistle carries. So yeah, this is kind of fun if you're into all over color work and want to invest some time and in a long-term project, I would say, unless you're just super speedy and you're a monogamous knitter, which I'm not either one of those. So, but I just want to show you the sleeve detail. I think I showed this the last time, but the sleeve detail. I mean, everything that Donna designs has thought into it, and I just love that. It's kind of a faux seam. All right, so that is my Star Cardi. And now that I've broken that out of, you know, the dustbin, I think that will be shown more love in the new year, and hopefully I'll be able to finish it. I think, you know, starting on the sleeves is better for me because it eliminates the whole sleeve island thing for me. Once the sleeves are done, I can go on to the body, and it's just, I don't know, for some reason there's just a mental thing with that. So so I think I can like get through that sleeve, and then I have both sleeves done, and knowing that the body will just come together like no time. So, all right, Star Cardi. Oh, I just wanted to let you know, I put this in the notes because I just find this really humorous. I bought that kit in 2021, and we are about to go into 2024. So, you know, no guilt, no judgment. You know, I just happen to know the date because I went back and checked in my old orders on the Woolly Thistle website. And that's the only way I know, because I don't date my stuff. I don't think anybody does. And so, so if you have whips languishing for that long or even longer, hey, you're not going to get any judgment from me. All right. So, I just wanted to mention, in the last podcast, I showed the Rockin' Robin socks, and I don't have them here with me because I literally have not worked on them at all since the last podcast. So hopefully once I get the next thing off the needles that I'm going to show you, I'll be going on to those socks. All right, so the Rockin' Robin socks, just as a side note, that was another kind of adventy kind of thing, and that's from Craft House Magic. That's Ellie over at Craft House Magic. She's in England. All right, finally, I want to show you in terms of whips. This is why I went off of the Rockin' Robin socks, because I found this whip languishing, and I realize I know why it's languishing. I'm doing one at a time sock here, and I'm more used to doing two at a time, and when I do two at a time, the project seems to go faster as well as it gets done. I do suffer from second sock syndrome. But anyway, this is called the Home Sweet Socks. I just wanted to share it with you. It's just got a little bit of color work up here near the cuff, and you can see right there in the middle is a little house, which I just fell in love with. It really is a simple sock. You've got the rib up here, and then you've got the color work, a few rows down the leg, and then I elected to do a German short row heel. And I think the pattern kind of says you can do whatever. They do give you a heel. I think it's a heel flap and gusset instruction. But I like the short row heels a lot. I tend to get less holes that way. So I am on the leg portion right now. I do my socks on circular needles. And this is a US 0 because I tend to be a very loose knitter. This is the actual pattern, Home Sweet Socks, and it is by Alicia Plummer. So she has it in reverse color. So the darker is the actual houses and the white is the background color. So these are really fun. I mean, I obviously had my most interest up here, and now I'm kind of stagnated because all I'm doing is really knit, 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 knit. The actual yarn, I can't tell you what the white color is. I believe it's something I got from, no, actually I can. Look, ball band. Woo! All right, this is an off-white color, and this is from the Unique Sheep, which is she's a dyer in Florida, and it's 100% superwash merino, great for socks, and 435 yards to 100 grams fingering weight, obviously. So that's kind of, you know, there's no colorway in this one. It's just kind of an off-white, which I love, that creaminess. And then the actual color, now this is from a company called Blue Moon Fiber Arts, and I'm not sure whether they are still in business. I tried to find their website, and unfortunately it led me to people that were imitating their website. So not quite sure about that. This was a sock club I was involved with years ago, and this was the Socks That Rock sock club. It was 100% superwash merino, and obviously hand dyed. The colorway is Field and Stream, a nice earthy green color, and it is 405 yards to 146 grams. So very lightweight sock yarn. And it's working out lovely. I'm enjoying this a lot, like I said, but you know, if I'm not doing 2 socks at a time, it sound you know, you become a creature of habit, and you know, sometimes you know what you like, you know, and you should just not divert off the given path, you know, or know thyself, right? So yeah, that's the Home Sweet socks. And maybe by next podcast I'll have 1 sock done. Now, actually, I think once I have the 1 sock done, I want to, you know, get back to doing some more color work. And the other one will flow as well. So I need to be held accountable somehow. Right? Anyway, let's get on to other stuff. I don't have anything new in spinning to report. I really should, here go the shouldas, right? I will spin more in the new year. But on to my intentions. I got to flip back here because I was writing them out before I wrote out my notes. I have 6 crafty intentions and 3 not so crafty intentions, but you know, if you are a crafter, it might resonate with you. My first one is to learn Portuguese or Turkish style knitting. I found an online class I'll be taking in January with Pamela Grushkin, and you can look her up. Just Google her name, Pam, and her last name is Grushkin. And she has a 1 evening learn how to do Portuguese style knitting. And I have to tell you, I've been intrigued with the technique for a while. I actually met Andrea Wong at a knitting retreat many years ago, and she actually wrote a book on the technique. There is a newer book out now by Rosa Pomar. Rosa Pomar, and I want to get my hands on that. I think Amazon has it. And it's a type of holding the yarn technique. And the reason why I'm intrigued with it is because after knitting the way I do for a while, your hands get tired and they get fatigued. And that sets you up for repetitive motion injury. What I thought I could do, and I'm pretty sure that this will help me too, because I tend to be a very loose knitter. I think this will even out my attention a little bit and make it a little tighter. The yarn is actually held either on a pin, which you pin on your sweater or, you know, garment, and that's what they look like. As you can see, I ordered 2 at one point because I was going to do Portuguese style knitting. And I got these from Thread and Links on Etsy. I'm not sure if they still, I didn't get a chance to see if the shop is still up. You can either use the pins or you can simply take the yarn around the back of your neck. And it's actually a tensioning in one hand and then a wrapping with the thumb of the other hand, I believe. Like I said, I haven't seen it done in a while, but it intrigued me because I'm interested in a more even tension and maybe a little more tighter tension than I have with my standard continental technique. So that's number 1. And in keeping with that, Pam also has a class on making the infamous ranunculus. And she says she's made 4 of them so far. So, and I've seen the ranunculus on my radar so many times, and I thought to myself, oh, I just don't need another, you know, round yoke sweater. I have enough of them and whatnot. But Pam's teaching the class, and Pam is wonderful. I've taken classes from her, so I can definitely speak to her level of, her level of ability to teach. And so I'm going to go ahead and make a ranunculus. I can't even say it. So ranunculus. So I'm going to let you know how that goes. The class doesn't start until February. I already bought my yarn, and I will show you the yarn in a future podcast. I got to get rid of the shawl. There we go. Look, now I'm too cozy. All right, and then my third resolution is I own a sock machine, a Ligera antique sock machine, which has been also languishing. But I have a renewed interest in that sock machine and getting it going, and just reading about the ins and outs and trying to get some sock tubes going. I have a lot of sock yarn, and so I was thinking maybe I'll crank some tubes and see where that takes me. I did take a class not too long ago on how to finish socks from a long tube that's been cranked on a sock machine. And I'd like to take you along with me with that. So another kind of knitting topic, but not on the needles, on many needles in a cylinder. So that's another one. That's number 3. Number 4 is another thing that's been percolating in my mind for a while, and that's to learn Romanian point lace. And before you think this is going to turn into a lacing podcast, it's not. This technique is based in crochet. You actually crochet a special cord, which you then stitch onto a pattern, a pattern that's been drawn onto a piece of cloth. And it's just a basting type of thing. The pattern is there. So once you have the cord down, which is your basis, you then make the stitches through the cord with a needle, with a sewing needle, or actually tapestry needle. But anyway, these are 3 kits I bought from Elena's Romanian Lace.com. She's also on Etsy, and that's how I know her. But anyway, I just wanted to show you just the beautiful work that's in there. So all these the outside of these leaves is all that Romanian cord, which is crocheted. And I just love a good earring, so there's another kit for earrings. And then finally, I have always loved butterflies, and so she has several of these butterfly kits on her website, or actually on Etsy. So just gorgeous. I think that would look great on the back of a denim jacket, or even the front of a denim jacket. So yeah, I think this is something that has always intrigued me, and I just need to put the right foot forward, and it shouldn't be hard. It's just small work. It's different, it's different from other things. So yeah, so let's see. And then, here's the most important one. Most important intention is the one that I'm continuing from 2023, is to dig out the crocheting and knitting whips that have been languishing. And this may resonate with you as well. If it does, comment down below and let me know what your intention is. Maybe you know exactly which whips you want to get done. For me, it's a more organic process. Once I get something done, I then go to my closet where I store current projects or things that have gone by the wayside, and whatever strikes my fancy I pull out. So it's kind of like, pulling a ticket at a lottery, I guess. So yeah, so that's how I think I'm going to go about it. But surely, if you want to join in with me, I would love to hear from you about that certain kind of intention of getting things done in 2024. So that's number 5. And finally, number 6, I bought this lovely little calendar online. It's called A Year of Crochet Stitches. Stitch a Day Perpetual Calendar. And this is by Jill Wright. And I'm not even sure what the copyright date is on this. I don't think they have one here. But anyway, this is the kind of calendar that you can keep around all the time and refer to. But each day has a different stitch mode or stitch that you can learn. And I thought it would be fun to. I thought I would use the Peace Fleece in this to make kind of a modular blanket. So if I take the stitch pattern from January 1st to make a square, and then maybe January 2nd or January 3rd, use another stitch pattern and just work off the square and just keep building on that square. So it's kind of be another organic thing, but like I said, I'm wanting to use up some piece fleece, and that's a good rugged yarn, and it's also very warm, so make a good blanket. But anyway, so that's it for my crafty intentions. The three non-related to fiber, I thought I'd just share because we all don't do fiber things all the time. I've been reading about 50 books a year for the past couple of years, and I intend to keep that up. I kind of keep track of all of my reads on Goodreads. And my husband and I, that's number one. And number two, my husband and I have decided to watch more movies in 2024. Somewhere along the line, I've determined that I'm way behind in the movie realm. And so I thought that would be a good thing, especially you can sit and knit and watch a movie. And then the third thing is to get better with YouTube. I've had some growing pains with podcasting and YouTube and uploading to YouTube, and over the time that I've started from May until now, and every day is a learning experience. So, but what I mean by get better is that to continue to improve my videos and continue to take suggestions. And I did learn a lot over Vlogmas. I learned about music and adding music and cutting things, and when I cut things, it's usually nothing important, nothing like my dog likes to mark every 100 feet. He likes to mark, so nobody wants to see a dog marking. He's cuter when he's not marking, and it always seems like when right in the middle of videoing him, he takes a squat, and so I've learned easy ways to cut things out and to splice things together and that sort of thing. So, but it's all a learning process, and I enjoy that, and I think it keeps your mind open to other things, and also it maintains that neuroplasticity that we're all after, as we age, keeping our thinking and critical thinking mostly intact. So those are my intentions for the new year. Maybe you find something there that resonates with you. If you do, let me know. I would love to kind of be a kindred spirit. So I think that's going to do it for me on this one and for the year. I want to deeply thank all of you for supporting me on my podcast. It has been such a joy to come here and film and talk about what I love to do. So take care of yourselves, and we will tackle the new year together. And until sometime in January, 2 weeks from now, I will see you then. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye now.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet for days of old lang syne. And here's a hand, my trusty friend, and here's a hand of thine. We'll talk a cup talk a cup of kindness yet for all night sun. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never